Hey everyone, this is Dr. Josh Fox. As you can probably tell from the not so nice looking thumbnail and the general awful tinny audio from this, and probably also the title, this is not a usual upload. This is a this is an update, and I'm recording this at like 2 at night because I can't stay up because I'm all sorts of wound up. And this is to reiterate something that I've already talked about on my Discord and during a Twitch stream, but I want to make it clear to as many people as I can. So I'm uploading this to YouTube as well, which is so funny considering what this is about. But anyway, that's my little disclaimer out of the way. This is completely non-scripted outside of just writing some notes down on a notepad on my second screen. So we're just gonna jump right in. With the introduction out of the way, I'm just gonna get the statement of intent out, and that is, screw YouTube, screw video production. Just screw it. It's just no, screw it. I'm done. I'm mostly done with working with YouTube. I had to take a drink there. There's going to be no editing, so that's going to be fun. Now, I want to make the reasons why as clear as possible. For starters, I want to make clear the original intention of my channel. And that was my dog. The original intention of my channel was, it was never to get like popular on its own. It was to advertise my work. That is to say, my art, and then later my streaming, as well as just being a place where I could just have fun practicing my video editing. It was for those two things. It was for advertising my other work, and it was for editing for fun. And maybe getting like, a couple thousand views, like one or two, But then, like a little while ago, I've just become so tired of it. It's just become it's not a hobby anymore. It's a chore. Excuse me. It is a chore that I dread the Monday of every week when I would always properly upload videos. And the reason for that is just I would be like, aside from the fact that, as you know, I would do premieres, no one would show up. And even though the intent of this channel was never to get a lot of views, it still sucks. You let people know it's like, okay, I got a video coming up, maybe you expect maybe 5 or 6 people, like maybe like one person shows up. And so that's a bit of a mood killer, but also just after the video premiere is done, I'm just like, oh god, now I have to think of something new I need to make for a week. And that sucks. Because that was never the point of the channel. It was always just, let people know, hey, I'm doing art. Or I'm streaming on Twitch, or whatever. I'm open for commissions, or in some cases just, hey, this is what I'm thinking at this time, and there's some video editing because I found video editing fun. I don't anymore. Not really, not largely. I mean, there is one exception to that. It's Foxtails. I love editing Foxtails. It's so funny because that's the most intensive one, but I love editing Foxtails. But the other stuff, even if it is something I'm passionate about, like when I'm talking on like those tier list videos, editing those, it's a chore. It's a chore. I have to sit through like an hour or so footage, cutting out like a lot of takes and retakes and retakes and retakes of me rambling like an idiot. And don't get me wrong, it's things I'm passionate about, but actually putting it together is just not fun. And then there's other things like you could probably tell from like the speed paints. The speed paints absolutely did nothing to help my art at all. I don't think any new people found my art through those or anything. And sure as hell no one like posting them with the art, like the link to it with the art, helped the YouTube that much, because people would just see the art and just be like, oh, cool art, and then like the thing on Twitter or whatever, and then just ignore the description or the link or the tweet because it's just the art's there. That's no one's fault. That's just how art consumption is. It's just, you see a cool picture, especially on something like Twitter, it's like you see a cool picture, there you go. But I mistook that they would. And you can see just how lazier and lazier I got with the editing on those, because it was just a slog. I knew no one was interested. I wasn't interested, and it wasn't going to do anything to actually help the thing that I was passionate about, which is my art. I just got tired of it. I'm just tired of it. I'm very tired of it. And it doesn't like, it doesn't help either that the video editing program I use is, like, not great. OpenShot, which is the video editor I use, it kind of blows. It kind of blows. I mean, I will give it this. It is mostly helmed by one guy, so I don't want to give it too much garbo. And I didn't pay for it. It has a lot of cool features, but, like, it crashes, it's slow, there's all sorts of, like, ridiculous little things I have to do. Like, if you drag to clip, like, some footage, like, if you need to make it shorter, you have to close the window and reopen it, because otherwise it'll lag. And that's not my computer. That's how it was on my old one, too. That's how it was on my previous one. It's not this computer. That's just always how it's been. And I think what finally cinched it for me, just the fact that OpenShot sucking does play a huge part in why I don't find making these videos fun anymore, is just the fact that I mentioned this on the Discord. Apologies for the little snap you heard there. There's like a thread on my sock. Anyway, I was making a tier list video, another one, fairly recently after the previous one, which I don't even remember what that one was about. I think it was game consoles. Yeah, it was game consoles or something. Was it game consoles? I don't remember. I would have to look it up. But this one was about Nintendo consoles. And it was done. But then it froze, and then that froze my hard drive, which then froze my computer, and then I had to reset my computer, and I figured I could go back and, like, just open it back up, and I'd be a little bit behind, but no. It completely, like, erased all progress with it. It was 0 kilobytes, nothing was in it. I don't know how that happened, but that's what happened. And then afterward, keep in mind that I'd been editing this for, like, a week. And then I found where the recovery things are, but when I tried to open it, it wouldn't recognize any of the files that were attached to it. It'd be like, the file named such and such is not associated with this document, or whatever it said. And when that happens, instead of just letting you get on with it, or whatever, like, maybe there's some other parts I could salvage, it puts you in a loop. You can't escape it. Instead, it'll bring you to select folders, and then you might, like, and then if you try and press X out of it, it just says that message again, and then you end up back there. You have to... And you can't close the window because it just won't let you. So you have to Control-Delete and you have to shut off the program. So that video file, like, it's gone. That project is gone. I can't recover it, even though it has recovery files. Another reason why OpenShot just sucks. Again, all my respect to the guy who puts it together, but it does kind of... I think you do need to hire some quality assurance, man. I know you take donations and whatnot. If you are listening to this, Mr. OpenShot video editor, I really appreciate the amount of work and time you put into it, but you need some quality assurance, man, because your program, it barely works. It's got a nice suite of features for, like, basic video editing that I do, but it needs some work. But I'm not here to call out OpenShot, man. Another part of it I just don't... Editing videos just was no longer fun. It's just not fun. And what was I doing my videos for? Like I said, it was to let people know about my art. And that's a bust because my videos get, like, maybe double-digit views, maybe if I'm lucky, triple digits, and really only the Foxtails videos do that. And there's good reason for that. It's because those are the best put-together ones, I guess. But... it's also it's not fun when I have to comb through, like, the footage to do the tier lists, or when I did, like, the Sims one, which was part of yet another series I was doing. Rather than just having everything be Foxtails, I decided to have, like, 3 or 4 different running series. I think I have, like, 5 or 6. And then, like, it was a pain in the ass. I'd have to go through, like, an hour or so of footage, possibly even more, and just edit together. Editing that highlight reel, which I'm... Editing that highlight reel was one of the most frustrating experiences of my life, and I couldn't even tell you why. Probably a lot of it was just because I had hours upon hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of footage to mull through, because there was a lot I had to go through, right? And it was a pain in the butt. I'd rather just pay someone to do it, but I don't have the money to do that. It was nice going back through all those memories, but, like... You know, a lot of it was a pain in the butt. And I had to re-download some of the VODs because of the fact that my previous hard drive corrupted. there is something else kind of to this too. You may have noticed I brought up like view counts and things like that a couple of times, and this is one of the really big reasons, aside from just the fact that I've just kind of I don't have fun editing these videos anymore. Of all the big social media platforms, Facebook, and you call YouTube what you want, it's a social media platform. It has been for years. It's always wanted to be, and it is. But out of all of them, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr even, no, Reddit kind of counts, I guess, but anyway, whatever, all of them, out of them all, including YouTube is the worst. It is the most user-hostile platform that I've participated in. And I say this as someone who knows YouTube pretty well. I've been using YouTube, and I've been like long before I uploaded any of these videos that you guys have seen like the past year or so. I used to upload videos all the time, and I used to keep up with YouTubers and things like that all the time before it was in vogue, as it were. Even before YouTube was bought by Google. I've been around YouTube since it started, pretty much. And seeing the website just go downhill and become worse and worse and worse and worse, implementing features that nobody asked for, I could put up with all that, but the algorithm of YouTube is the most user-hostile algorithm I think I've ever seen. It makes Twitter to artists look positively sublime. That's why you don't hear about new YouTube content, like streamers maybe, because YouTube does streams, but anyone who's popular on YouTube, they got popular a couple of years ago. It's very rare that you see a new creator on YouTube make it big, or even get alright views. And even people who should be getting lots of views don't get the views that they need. We're talking about the Jim Sterlings and the Some Call Me Johnnies and whatever. These are people I have in my notifications, and I have their bells clicked, which, by the way, that bell feature is the worst thing that YouTube ever implemented. I'm sorry. This side of their awful copyright bots, but other than that, the bells is the subscription bells the worst feature that they ever added. And I have it set to all. I don't get told when. Sometimes I do, very rarely, because the algorithm decides, oh, well, he's been watching gaming stuff. Here's a Song Call Me Johnny video. But I might have missed months and months of content, and because I'm ADHD, that doesn't register in my head. And so I can only imagine how it is for people like me, or, I don't know, just off the top of my head, my friend T-Chep, who does Baking in Blue. That's a great series, by the way, where he bakes things in fursuit. It's really cute. There's no way in hell that the algorithm will give people smaller channels like mine, or T-Chep, or whatever, a chance. Even sometimes people get, videos with, 500k views, or, 1 million views, on 2 of them, and then the rest of them won't even be able to break 100. What's her name? Their name, because they recently came out as non-binary. They, or agender. One of the two, I don't quite remember. They have 2 or 3 Five Nights at Freddy's videos, and they don't even like Five Nights at Freddy's. They have those videos, and they have, anywhere from 8k, 895k to 1,000, 1 million views or something. It's some ridiculous number. And then you look at the rest of their work, and it's they're lucky if they break 1,000 views on their average video. And that's absolutely ballistic. That's nonsense to me. And the rest of their content, it's all fairly consistent. It's all the same sort of thing. But because the algorithm decided one day, because, oh, well, that's Five Nights at Freddy's. But even then, even even if you just do something popular, if you coax on that, or do clickbait or whatever, everyone says that will get you YouTube views, it doesn't work. Hell, I just, out of curiosity, I tried. If you look at some of my more recent videos, you look at the thumbnail. I'm not counting the Dr. Josh Fox iceberg video, because the VOD from Twitch, because that was a joke. That was for lulz. But then if you look at say my speed paints, particularly the movie Shadow one, that has a very clickbait like thing, and it's based on a very like a hot property, the Sonic movie, and that didn't break 100 or anything because it doesn't get bumped up in the algorithm no matter what you do. Now I am not owed these views, and I'm not even really lamenting the fact that I don't get a lot of views, but there's just something about the YouTube ecosystem that does add on to just that ennui I feel with putting together most of these videos now. Because I know I put a lot of time and effort into it, but it's just no returns. It's not even diminishing returns. There's no return on it. And as a result, it feels like I'm not, like everyone shares something online because they want someone to see it. Let's be honest. You could say, oh, well, you should just be doing it for the sake of creativity. If that was the case, I wouldn't share these videos with anyone. You know? I'd make them and let them run on my hard drive. But I don't. I make them and I share them in hopes that I can share it with people. And that's becoming harder and harder, ironically, on YouTube. Instead, it's stuff like you'll get like meme, like low effort like meme compilations that are people ripping things off from like Reddit and TikTok. Those will get views because that's what the algorithm prioritizes. People who are actually like trying to be like creative, even if they have a good following or had a good following, it's becoming harder and harder every day. YouTube is one of the most creatively hostile places. You compare it even to something like Twitch, which has its own problems. But don't get me wrong, I don't exactly have a big Twitch following, but I've had a much easier time getting my work out there streaming. Whether or not I stream artwork or I stream games, and how, like, even, like, something like those tier list things, I've actually just been thinking of doing a thing where it's like, I get the community and I just stream us doing a tier list together, because I think that'd be a lot more fun, because I actually like doing the tier list parts, editing it together that I hate. And I'm not uploading those raw, I'm sorry, because oh god, no, I ramble like a goddamn idiot in those. I'm rambling like a goddamn idiot in this now, but I at least have my points down. And it just adds on top of that. It's so hard for my YouTube to service, because I'm not having fun editing the videos. They're not advertising for me, so I'm basically just wasting my time when I have my Twitch to worry about, and I have commissions to worry about, and I have, in case you guys don't know, I've applied again to Algonquin College's animation program. Now I don't know if I'm going to get in, but I would still like to give it a good old-fashioned try. I have graduated through 2 of their programs before, so I'm fairly confident I can get in if I apply myself, but I haven't been able to apply myself because every goddamn week I have to worry about a new YouTube video. And it's just not, like, fun. Why am I putting in the extra effort for something that the algorithm's going to drown out anyway? Even if there are people who like my content, they don't see it. It doesn't come up in their notifications. You can't find my stuff by looking for it, outside of maybe looking up my username. So if it's not going to help advertise my stuff, if it's not helping me to share creative ideas, if it's not fun, why am I still doing it? Why am I spitting into the wind dealing with this apocalyptic wasteland of a platform if it's not bringing me joy? Or it's not bringing attention to... I don't like using this phrase, but my business of art, my business of streaming. What is the point? Now, I do want to say, I brought this up earlier in the video, that there is one thing that I still feel like is worth the effort, despite the fact that it doesn't really get views, and that's Foxtails. Foxtails, I think, is the purest distillation of why I started this channel. It's a good way to let people know that I can draw, that I do art in ways, because it's like, I'm drawing the assets, I'm animating the assets, that sort of thing. It's fun to edit, because I'm not just listening to myself ramble like an idiot. I'm putting things together. It requires actual work, creative thought, direction. I have to, like, make storyboards and write scripts, and I have to act and things like that. It's a lot of fun to put together. It takes a long time. It takes much longer than anything else I do, but it feels like a proper endeavor. And when I come out of it, I don't feel like I just recorded myself doing a picture that I felt like I needed to do. And sure, maybe the art itself looks fine, but I'm more proud of the art than I am the crappy video I made about it. So Foxtails is staying. Absolutely, I will be making more of those. And I don't know how often those are going to come out, because I do feel like that a lot of the times I haven't been able to do as much of them as I like. But then you look at, like, say, the most recent, like, Foxtails, the Runes of the Fourth Wall one. That is the most fun I've ever had making a video, and that took me like 2 months, and it was long, and it was arduous, and by the end of it, I was glad it was over, but I still had fun, and it's something I'm proud of. Am I disappointed that it didn't really? It hasn't. I don't think any Foxtails has broken more views than the first one, and the first one is the worst one. It's not even the funniest story, honestly, but it's the one people go to because it's the first one. And it's been there the longest. Yeah, that is disappointing, but screw it, I had fun making it. And I will continue to have fun making Foxtails. They'll come out, now I don't really have a schedule for them, because it's not my job, it's a hobby. So they'll come out when they come out. I don't want to, like, make you wait months and months and months for a new one, so I will say, don't expect to wait months and months and months for new ones. But, you know, a couple of them every month or so, you know, like something like that. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. I'm not looking to have like a proper schedule for them. It's just when I'm in the mood, when the mood strikes, and I'm just like, I want to make a Foxtails. And by doing this, it also allows me to just put more effort into it, because even the Runes episode, I wanted to have animations and whatnot in that episode, but I didn't, because I was worried that a video was taking too long to come out. I just want to have no restrictions when it comes to that sort of thing. This isn't part of my job. This is a goddamn hobby, and I'm sick of forcing myself to feel like it has to be like a job. As for the VODs, the archives to my Twitch, don't know what I'm doing with those yet, because I think that a lot of that helped to bury my other videos, because there's so many of them. What I'm thinking of doing is just re-downloading all the ones that I don't have anymore, and uploading them on a separate channel. I think for now I'm just going to leave them, because the YouTube is mostly just being left for those. Maybe I'll do the opposite. Maybe I'll download all the old Foxtails and I'll upload them to another channel. I don't know yet. I honestly don't know yet. But that'll be something that I'll figure out in due time. For now, I'm just going to keep doing as I'm doing, uploading the VODs to the channel, because I just want a place to archive my Twitch streams, the stuff I'm actually passionate about. That's all I really wanted to say, honestly. If you are like one of 3 people who found my work through YouTube, I'm sorry. If you did like the tier list, and I liked recording stuff like the tier lists and whatnot, but editing it together and just watching it get drowned by the YouTube algorithm. Like, it felt like I was trying to breathe underwater, and it was just becoming an unnecessary stressor. And with all the extra work that I have, something had to give. YouTube was what had to give. I want to thank everyone for watching and putting up with this and putting up with my inconsistent uploading, and I feel like a deterioration in quality of most of my work. The only thing I feel like has gone up in quality has been Foxtails. Everything else has either stagnated or just felt worse. And I apologize for that. Especially the speed paints. Oh my god, the speed paints have gone so bad. With that said, if you are one of the 3 or 4 people who found my work through YouTube, I have a Discord server where you can talk to the people from my Twitch and who follow me on Twitter and whatnot. And I have my Twitch, where you'll be able to watch me draw, and you'll be able to listen to me have anecdotes, like in Foxtails, but more more unrestrained or unrestricted, and not with the editing. Again, not getting into Foxtails, but it will give you, if you feel like if you crave my anecdotal nonsense for some reason, I tend to do that sort of thing in streams, and sometimes even do Ask Me Anything, so we can ask questions. Both the link to my Discord and my Twitch will be in the description below. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't let you link that in videos, because this is the worst social media platform. I don't have anything else to say beyond that. I want to thank each of you for your time and your patience. Maybe someday I'll come back to doing stuff like speed paints and stuff like the tier lists. But for now, I just want to focus for my YouTube on Foxtails, and just that being a hobby that I do for fun, not something that I'm trying to make like a job, even though it's not a job. It has never been a job. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.